Investigating the conduct of Judge John Hlophe, as you've heard, has been postponed indefinitely. And that's, of course, following the removal of that judge, the recusal of Judge Cagney Musi, who recused himself, as you heard in that package from the panel at the start of the tribunal this morning. Now, the background is that the tribunal was set up in 2013 on the recommendation of a subcommittee of the Judicial Service Commission. That's, of course, the Judicial Conduct Committee. It was tasked with investigating complaints laid against Judge Hlophe after he allegedly attempted to influence constitutional court judges in a case involving former President Jacob Zuma. The alleged incident is traced back to a complaint laid by the full Constitutional Court bench, which alleged that Hlophe approached Justice Bess Nkabinde, whom you saw in that clip, and Justice Jafta, and attempted to improperly influence them in that matter, and in a matter that was before court. Now, we're joined now by Mr. F.C. Fourie, who's the spokesperson for the Judicial Services Commission. He's, of course, in our Pretoria studios. Good evening to you, and thank you for your time. As I say, the original complaint dates back to 2008 and was first raised by Justices Nkabinde and Jafta. It's taken an awfully long time, and it would now appear the end is nowhere in sight.
Yes. Good evening to you. Yes, that is indeed the case, that the matter has again been postponed because Judge Musi recused himself. He denied, I'm advised, the allegations levelled against him, but he said that in the interests of justice he will recuse himself. That means that the Chief Justice must now appoint another judge in the place of Judge Musi, and as soon as that has been done, the tribunal can resume its activities. Hopefully that will happen soon. The Chief Justice has already been advised and is in the process of considering the matter. As far as the delay is concerned, may I refer you to Section 27 of the Judicial Service Commission Act that says, in the interest of protecting and enhancing the dignity and effectiveness of the judiciary and the courts, a tribunal must, as soon as reasonably practicable after its appointment, determine a date, time and place for conducting a hearing in respect of the allegations referred to it and conclude the hearing without unreasonable delay. Now, it is so that this has been hanging for a very long time, but there are explanations for that. Amongst other, there were several challenges against, amongst other things, the constitutionality of the Judicial Service Commission Act dealing with complaints against judges. And from the side of the Judicial Service Commission, we hope that Judge Musi's replacement will be appointed by the Chief Justice as soon as possible in order to enable the tribunal to continue its work and start with a hearing of the matter.
Of course, we understand that Judge Musi recused himself because he says he was called by Judge Hlophe 2 months ago, alleging that he had made disparaging remarks against Hlophe for a judgment that had been turned down. What do you understand about those facts?
Look, as I say, I'm advised, I wasn't at the hearing today, but I was advised that Judge Musi denied any of the allegations levelled against him, but as I've already indicated, decided to, in the interest of justice, recuse himself or withdraw as a member of the tribunal. I can obviously not comment on what has been alleged between the Judge President and Judge Musi. All I know is that he denied all the accusations, but nevertheless decided to recuse himself.
At issue here, of course, is a very serious matter, the possibility of the first impeachment of a judge in democratic South Africa.
Yes, that is indeed so. If that, at the end of the day, is the finding of the tribunal will have to refer its findings by way of a report to the Judicial Service Commission, and the Judicial Service Commission must then consider the report and decide, depending on what the report states and what the report recommends, on any further steps.
The two justices who raised the initial complaint, we know, were ready to testify today before, obviously, Judge Musi's recusal. Can you take us back to what it was alleged Judge Hlophe tried to do?
Well, the main gist of it is that it is alleged that he tried to influence judges of the Constitutional Court in a matter which was before the court in respect of the former president of South Africa. And that is where everything started. And as you indicated, that is way back in 2008 already.
I mean, you've mentioned, of course, a number of things that might have delayed this process. And if indeed this phone call did take place, as we are now hearing it might have, by Judge Hlophe raising these concerns to Judge Musi, there are those who might interpret it as a kind of Stalingrad tactic in terms of dealing with this. In other words, really delaying the matter as far as possible.
I really can't comment on that. Obviously, any judge may exercise his rights as any other citizen. So I can't comment on the intention here. But as I say, hopefully Judge Musi will be replaced as soon as possible and the tribunal can proceed with the hearing of the matter, which in terms of Section 27, which I quoted to you, will be welcomed by everybody. I think it is in the interest of justice that this matter now be dispensed of one way or the other as soon as possible.
I suppose as we leave our conversation, two cliches come to mind, one being that justice delayed is justice denied, and the other is the principle that justice must not only be done, but must be seen to be done.
Correct.
All right, we'll leave it there with, of course, Mr. FC Fourie, who is the spokesperson for the Judicial Services Commission.